I actually did forget someone's questions, and I've already pre-recorded this Q&A, so I'm going to actually have this first before I get started with the rest. So let's get started with the question that I missed. Final Limits actually sent me a set of questions via Messenger. That's why I missed it. But anyway, guys, if you do have any questions, send me questions in the future, send them to my YouTube page. Not Messenger, because I'm going to probably miss it. Send it to me via YouTube, on my YouTube inbox, or on Twitter at RK30 #DaceGirlQ&A. Let's get started with Final Limits. Okay, what are your plans? I guess one of my plans for New Year's Eve, honestly, they were sleeping because it is now 2015. And did 2014 go by fast? Yes, it did. Really, really did. Are you planning on getting an Xbox One in 2015? I don't know. I might. It all depends on what comes out, and I'm actually looking forward to seeing Mortal Kombat X. When that comes out, I might get it. What did you think of the video that I sent you of that guy, Mini Bray Wyatt and Paige? It was actually kind of funny, honestly. He was an honest fan. He said it was way better than AJ, and I wouldn't be surprised. But it looked pretty dead at Wizard World. I thought there would be a lot more people there, and it wasn't, showing that the con circuit is starting to go down fast. But guys, that was Final Limits. That was my first question for 2015. And cue my... What is up, people? Nature Girl 30 here. And guys, it is officially 2015. 2015 is here. This is the 1st of January, New Year's Day. It is great. I have a lot of high hopes for this year. I think it's going to be awesome. And y'all, straight up, you guys are awesome for consistently, I can't even say the word, but consistently sending me questions. I did forget one person, and that from the last Q&A. I did forget one person, but I will mention you in this Q&A. And I also got many others that sent me a Q&A in, because I actually did record this previously in Atlanta, but since I had more people come in, I kind of want to put them on this one, so I'm going to re-record it. But either or, thanks you guys. You guys are awesome. I'm going to go to the first person that I actually did not add on the last Q&A, and this is from Just Inside. What if George Zimmerman moved next door to you? What would you say or do? I don't know who George Zimmerman is. And I probably wouldn't care either, because I really don't watch the news that often. And on the other side, move the cop who killed Michael Brown. Yeah. I would say this. If anybody is like that actually killed Michael Brown living next door, cop or no, he wouldn't make it. He would probably be harassed every day of the week. And even if he was armed to the teeth, there'll be more people around him that are just as armed. I doubt he will live anywhere near me, in my personal opinion. What if your other next door neighbor was Casey Anthony? Yeah. I lived in Florida around the time of the whole Casey Anthony trial, and trust me, there was not any place you could go without anybody talking about her, let alone people stalking her. So she wouldn't be anywhere near me. She would probably move maybe on the opposite side of the world, or maybe just on the opposite side of this country, because people really hated her. What if Lion Lowe became your new manager at work? How would you feel knowing how much he hates black people? And do you think he would make your life miserable as well as other black people's lives miserable? He could try, because I'm going to put it this way. Just because you hate black people, and just because you don't like being anywhere near them, if he actually did work in the same company I did, he wouldn't last long, because his evaluation will be bad. Because everybody will probably either go AWOL or mutiny or just quit. Seriously. And that's discrimination. And let's put it this way. Discrimination, racism, and prejudice is definitely not tolerated in the workforce, because it actually does portray negatively on the company. So if he tried to pull that off, he would not last. He would be fired within maybe a few weeks. So he could try to pull that off. And honestly, he could do whatever he wants to do. He can talk about black people as much as he wants to. But let's be real here. He probably likes black people as much as he's letting off. Maybe his pride is too big for him to admit that he likes black people, but I really think that he's at least intrigued by us. So yeah, whatever. I'm not even gonna say yay. But anyway, what if you caught Maria Menounos sleeping naked next to you, and when you woke up the next morning? I would be like, why are you in my bed naked? Get your clothes on and leave. Seriously. That's pretty much what I would do. And I wouldn't know why she would be in my house in the first place, because I'm not a big fan of hers. What if you found The Rock taking a crap in your backyard like a dog? Well, in that case, I would wonder why he was there. And more than likely, if he was taking a crap in my backyard, he would be drunk. He had to have been drunk. Seriously. It wouldn't be anything I would have given him, because I don't have alcohol that much in my house. But I will say that he probably had something the night before, came by, had to take a dump, took a dump in my backyard, and yeah, I'd be like, Rock, you need to be somewhere else. As tempting as it would be to take a picture, I don't think I want to take a picture of anybody taking a crap on my lawn. It's just gross. That's just disgusting. I would be sick enough to even watch him. But anyway, great questions, man, and I'm sorry for leaving you out for my last Q&A. And I'm going to move on to Peyto Nealton. What do you think will happen in the what do you think will happen in the WWE in the year 2015 and beyond? You wrote several other ones, but and I guess you in the final one was 2020. I don't want to be alive in 2020. I don't know. All I know is that the wrestling business is kind of going downhill right now. But let's put it this way: there's always been a resurgence somewhere or another. They've always found a way to get back on top, so I'm not really worrying about them. They're gonna figure their way out, and maybe they'll get better as time goes on. Is the world going to be nothing more than sadness and darkness and misery by the year 2020? Here's what I'm going to say about this. In the midst of darkness, there's always light. And when there's light, there's always hope. And when there's hope, there's even more faith and more hope from other people. What I'm saying is that just because there's a lot of darkness surrounding in the world does not mean that everybody or everything in the world is dark. There's light out there. There's a lot of light out there, and there's hope out there. And even in the year 2020, whenever that may be, Lord knows how long we're going to be here. But I will say this. I really and honestly, truthfully believe where there's more darkness, there'll be more light. That's in my opinion. Where there's darkness, when there's hatred, when there's bitterness towards other people in more areas, in certain areas, there's more light in other areas than darkness. So even if you see darkness around you, there's always light in other places. That's what I'm going to say about that. It may sound a bit vague, but honestly, I really believe that there's a lot more hope out there than people do believe. Everybody thinks that the world is miserable and bleak. I really do believe that there's a lot more light out there than you realize. And maybe it may inspire you. Maybe it may move you, and maybe that you'll see things differently. Maybe. Will our parents still be alive in 2020? Let me see. My dad is in his 50s right now. Well, actually, my dad is in his 60s right now. In the year 2020, what is that? About, I'm not entirely sure how long that is. But I know that my parents, yes, I am kind of, I'm curious. I'm not really good in math. Okay, that's 6 years from now. Okay, my dad is 62, so he'll be about 68 in the year 2020. And me, I'm about 34, so in the year 2020, I'll be 40. So either or, we really won't be that old. 2020 is not that far away. Actually, it'll be 5 years from now, because now it's 2015. So it's actually 5 years from now. So my dad will actually be about 65. He'll be about 70 years old, 71. For me, I will be about 39, like pushing 40. So we really won't be that old. But I know that with Triple H's, I know your next question is about Triple H's kids. What his kids will be wrestlers in the world if the world exists in 2020. Well, honestly, I don't know if his kid's gonna be wrestlers. He has all girls, unless Stephanie's pregnant again and she has another boy. But either or, their kids are gonna probably be close to their teens. Well, at least one of them be close to their teens. The other ones will probably be like maybe like, beyond the whole toddler stage, I guess. They'll probably be like kids. And I think the oldest one is 7. So in 5 years, the oldest daughter will be 12. The middle child will be 10, and I think the other one is 3, so she'll be about 8. So one will be on their way towards preteendom, and the other ones will kind of be in the middle. So I guess to answer both of your questions, more than likely they'll be too young to even be in the wrestling business around the year 2020. Ric Flair is in his 60s, his mid-60s now. So 5 years from now, he'll be in his 70s. He'll be far too old to wrestle. More than likely, he's going to still probably be a manager. So 2020 may seem that far, but honestly, it really isn't. It's just only 5 years away. So technically, it really won't change much if you really think about it. But yeah, great set of questions, man. My next set of questions actually comes from Regional D Huff. Why does I Love Watermelon 525 pissed off for what you did to him that involved Largest 85? I didn't understand. I just really made just a comment towards Largest 85 when he made a comment about AJ. And, I thought it was inappropriate, but then I was just joking around like, come on, man, and I thought it was a bit inappropriate. But honestly, I have the largest amount of respect for Largest 85. And I know that if he had beef with it, he would tell me because I have utmost respect for this guy. And he has no problem in telling me when I'm wrong. Well, at least that's how I personally feel about it. But I don't know why he's mad. I don't know why he's pissed off, and that's just him. Or her. Oh, him. But anyway. Will 2015 be the year of Dolph Ziggler? Honestly, I don't know. Dolph Ziggler always has a tendency to be pushed depending on who is on his arm. And as soon as he's by himself, he just gets de-pushed. I really don't know what will happen. I hope that Dolph Ziggler actually does get pushed without having a girl involved or without having to be involved with John Cena. But we'll see from here. I really think the guy's a great talent, but let's be real. The WWE really don't know what to do when it comes to new talent these days. So let's just hope that something different happens. I'm hoping it does, because WWE really does need a company push, a really good one. Who is a bigger douchebag, Vince McMahon or the right hand man Kevin Dunn? Honestly, I gotta say Vince, and the reason why I say this is because Vince still depends on stereotypes to move forward. He's still kind of stuck in the 80s. I'm not going to say that Kevin Dunn isn't a douchebag, but I will say that the fact that the chairman of the board kind of allows all this nonsense to go through without trying to make things new and at least make it at least racially insensitive as possible. Yeah, I got to say that I got to give that crown to Vince. Seriously. He's pretty much up there, way above Kevin Dunn, in my opinion. What did you get for Christmas? I got some clothes, some shoes. That's pretty much what I got. So some clothes, some shoes, and I got a really cool throw. So that's pretty much what I got for Christmas. What I got for Christmas for myself, oh yeah, I also got a $25 gift card at Best Buy, which I actually used to get myself a video game. Injustice Gods Among Us. Something I have not played yet, and I'm really crunk about playing it. Seriously. What did you get for Christmas? Say when the entire okay. What did you do for Christmas? Say what you did the entire day, the moment you woke up and the moment you went to sleep. Okay. What happened with me is I did not go home for Christmas because my family was in Florida. So what happened with me is I just chilled out here. I had a really busy, the last 2 months have been like really crazy busy, and I've been exhausted all week and traveling all week, and I was just really tired. So I just spent the time here. I actually had spent Christmas with my dog and just mellowed out and actually watched like a lot of great programming on TV and just chilled. And it was probably the best Christmas ever because I actually had a chance to rest for once. So that's pretty much what I did. And I went to sleep happy. So that's pretty much how it went. But yeah, great questions, man. The next set of questions comes from Nintendo Fanboy 1988. What wrestlers would you like to see pushed in 2015 by WWE and TNA? I have not watched TNA in a while, so I really don't know who's not being pushed or who is being pushed. I will say, of course, it would be great to actually see Bad News Barrett be pushed in the right direction and have him be a decent heel and not make him a face, but have him in a decent feud and make him a very strong heel. And also, it would be nice to see Dolph Ziggler. I prefer Dolph Ziggler as a heel than a babyface. I would love to actually see him as a decent heel and a really strong heel, like I would see Bad News Barrett. And as for the Big Show, yeah, I'm kind of done with him. But those two guys, I would like to see pushed the most, honestly. And anyone that came from NXT, people be like, I want to see Cesaro. Cesaro is a great strength. He has a lot of strength. He has a huge ego. And there's a lot you can do with him. But it's right now, they really don't know what to do with him. His whole character is just starting to wane. But on the real, it would be nice to actually see him to be pushed as well. Those are the three heels that I kind of want to see pushed in 2015. And I'm hoping that actually does happen. As for TNA, I have not watched it, so I really don't know. Not lately. I really don't know who needs to be pushed and who shouldn't be. Why do you not like Havoc's music, theme music on TNA? Because it doesn't fit her. And I'm a huge Mortal Kombat fan. So I would at least like it to sound a bit mysterious or like a whole Mystique kind of feel. But with something that actually sounds like Havoc, not a bunch of noise. Like, this is what it was. And it just didn't fit her. It really, really didn't. What female wrestlers do you think could legit beat up a dude in real life? Chyna, possibly Natalya, Beth Phoenix, Caitlyn, and Lita. Yeah, those are the 5 chicks that I really think that could actually just throw down and beat a dude up. I would probably say, I would say Trish Stratus, but Trish Stratus seems like that she just, no. She's kind of different when it comes to all that stuff. She kind of has a bit of a, well, not a bit of anything, but she's a little different. She just seems like she's the kind of person that would probably talk it out first before beating you down. But yeah, those are the 5 chicks that I know that could probably scrap. And I highly agree that they could beat up a dude, whatever. Should the WWE bring back intergender matches while the guys fight the girls? Probably not. The reason why I say that is because that the women now in the WWE do not have this. They're not at the same level as the guys. The ones that were are now gone. Chyna, Beth Phoenix are the only 2 that could scrap, and possibly not Awesome Kong. I'm keep calling Awesome Kong. Karma, Beth Phoenix, and Chyna were the only chicks that could beat down a guy and literally be okay and not be like broken or anything. All the divas now are model divas. They can only fight each other. If they literally fought other guys, it wouldn't last. People be like, oh, what about Sable? No, Sable could not scrap with another guy. I'm sorry. Yes, sure, she powerbombed her husband, but that was choreographed. We know that. If she literally went to fight, an intergender fight with a guy, she wouldn't last that long. I just don't see that happening. One punch to the face, she's down. Seriously. But those 2 chicks, Beth Phoenix and Chyna, could take a hit to the face, and they could take a hit hard. They could even hit back even harder. So lately, no. I'm kind of happy that they don't, because they wouldn't know how to handle themselves. But yeah, great questions, man. Moving on to the next set of questions coming from Brody Loney. What if you were a wrestler and Vince asked you to bump like Mick Foley off the Hell in a Cell ring? Would you do it? No. No. I value my life. How many Q&As will you have done since Christmas 2015? Like, what number? For this year, Christmas of this year, like 2015, now that it happens to be 2015, dang, it's 90 now. So, and I do this, like, I would have to do some math. Like, seriously, I'm at 90 right now. So, and I actually do Q&As 4 times out of the week. So, seriously, 4 times out of the week times 4 weeks times 12 months will be 48. So, 48 plus 90 would probably be, I would have done 138 Q&As by the end of this year. That's pretty much what I would do. I would actually have 138 Q&As on my belt, well, under my belt, after this year, which will be really, really cool. And it'll be all thanks to you guys. You guys are awesome. Seriously. Do you like wine or beer for Christmas dinner? Or which alcoholic beverage will you prefer in general? Honestly, I like mixed drinks. People kind of say it's frou-frou, but I do like mixed drinks. I do like my Sky Blue. I like my Smirnoff. You know, I like the fruity citrus drinks. I haven't had fruity beer. I did have a bit of Chardonnay for New Year's because I've never had it, and it actually doesn't taste that bad. But yeah, I actually do prefer mixed drinks. The only problem is it's extremely high in sugar. That's the only problem, and that's why I don't really drink it that often. But with Christmas dinner, I don't necessarily have any alcohol because I have it with my parents, and it bothers my parents when I drink it from them. So I don't drink at all. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Will you ever will you ever call your two boyfriends, Final Limits and Mr. Griffin, for Christmas to have dinner with you? Number one, they're not my boyfriends, even though that Final Limits is a great guy. And he is one of my biggest supporters. He's not my boyfriend. Mr. Griffin, although, you know, he's kind of on the same level as me when it comes to wrestling and everything, and I did have a chance to actually meet him, and he's a very sweet guy. No, he's not my boyfriend either. But if I actually have the opportunity to invite them both for Christmas dinner, I would, especially if they were in my neck of the woods. It wouldn't be that bad. It would be interesting. Who weighs more, Griffin or Limits? I don't know. I know that when I met Irvin was a really big dude. I mean, not big as in fat, but he's just like, he has some muscle. I'm not gonna lie. He's a really big guy. He's about 6'2". I don't know how much weight he is. I think he's probably within a range of 250 maybe, but he's actually a really big guy. Final Limits, according to his picture that he showed me, he looks like he might be about a hair shorter than Irving, and maybe a lot less weight-wise. So I would say Irving's probably a lot more. Mr. Griffin, of course. What race is Taz, black or white? I don't know what race he is, and I didn't focus on that. And the same for Low-Ki. I have no idea what Loki's race is. I really don't, and I didn't focus on it that much. But but yeah, I couldn't tell you, man. You probably want to look it up on Wikipedia, or maybe on YouTube, or well, maybe not YouTube, but probably on Google. Google will probably be your best source. But moving on to my final question for this Q&A is from Jack the Talking Dildo. What do you think of Nash beating up on his 18-year-old son because his son was drunk and hit his mother, and Nash being arrested along with his son? I'm not really into domestic abuse. I mean, domestic violence, whether it's husband and wife or father and son. All I know is that it's messed up. That whole situation was messed up, and I don't really condone that, but all I pray is that the family is somehow reunited and came back together as a unit again. It's messed up that it had to go down that way. What music do you enjoy the most from Mario 64? Oh man, I have to say Dire Dire Docks is one of my favorite songs because it's so freaking soothing. Like, it's so soothing to listen to that music and just hear that music play. And I actually did have my top 10 favorite videos, like my top 10 favorite games, and I don't know if it was for 2012 or whatever, but it was for my top 10 favorite games. I actually did upload that, and I did have Mario 64, but I had the classic music on there. But seriously, Dire Dire Docks is my favorite, not only my favorite part of the game, but it's actually my favorite song to listen to. It's awesome. And I think that the Smooth McGroove actually did do a version of it, which was awesome. So if you guys haven't heard of Smooth McGroove, check him out. He's really clever, and he can sing. I mean, it was really awesome how he did it a cappella. So definitely check it out and look up Dire Dire Docks because he actually has it on there. Do you think Nintendo should stop making Mario games? No, it's their trademark, and they do it so well. Why should they stop? They're really awesome at what they do. So yeah, by all means, they should not stop. They should continue to make as many Mario games as they can, because it's always going to be fun, it's always going to be entertaining, and it's always going to be awesome, even though I don't have a Wii. Either or, I have a classic Nintendo, and I always have fun playing it. So seriously, continue to make Mario games. But guys, Thank you so much for sending me all your questions for this great and wonderful 2015. I really have high hopes for this future. Guys, for this actual year. Guys, always continue to send me questions. Send them to me via YouTube in my YouTube inbox or on Twitter at RKH30 #NatureGirlQA. It's NatureGirl30 signing off. Peace out. Later.